All right, so after the first week of the NBA playoffs, there are so many different series that we watched that I am personally truly looking out for. And that series has to be the Grizzlies versus Timberwolves, the Warriors versus Nuggets, the Celtics versus the Nets. That's the series I'm most excited for. And honestly, I have to be honest, the Bulls versus the Bucks. So we'll start in a specific order. So we'll start off with the Grizzlies. Okay, the Memphis Grizzlies. A lot of people are saying the Grizzlies aren't prepared for playoff basketball. Grizzlies don't know how to play in the playoffs. Grizzlies they're a regular season team. They're like the Utah Jazz. And I honestly have to disagree with you guys. Remember, while the Grizzlies have been in the playoffs before, they were in the playoffs as the 8th seed last year, and they beat the Utah Jazz in a game. I mean, instead of saying the Grizzlies are a terrible first-round team, you should really be asking yourself, or are the Timberwolves just that good? Now, look, while yes, the Grizzlies did struggle, and I'm not going to look at box score numbers, specifics. The Grizzlies, they struggled. They came out, they looked flat. They looked like a terrible, flat team that didn't even want to be there. Like, that energy that the Grizzlies always play with just didn't feel like it was there. And that's okay. That's what happens when you're a high-seeded team and you're coming into the playoffs. You don't really know what to expect, especially being it's their first time being such a high seed. So, like, I mean, you saw it, Bucks versus Magic, Raptors versus Magic. I'm giving the Magic as an example. You saw it 2 years ago where it was Nets versus Sixers. The Nets won game one. The Magic won both game ones. A lot of higher teams, they'll come out flat and low, and then they get destroyed by whatever lower seed team there is. And that's what happened to the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are not frauds. The Grizzlies are not a terrible team. The Grizzlies just came out flat. And those things happen when you're going into the playoffs. But in Game 2, I truly expect the Memphis Grizzlies to bounce back and, like, destroy the Timberwolves. Or maybe the Timberwolves win another game, and then go up 2-0. So it's a really cool thing to see. You know this team isn't going to come out like this again. And it was still a close game while they came out like that. So I'm telling you right now, this series is going to be extremely competitive. Just you wait. Nuggets versus Warriors, it was a little bit underwhelming, I do have to say. But it is what I expected. You got to remember, these Nuggets are coming into this series on a low level. They're missing two of their best offensive weapons, so they're going to be shaky at times. And Nikola Jokic can only do so much, especially being in the playoffs, how difficult it is to even score or get a bucket or just do it. Well, that's the same thing. Or do anything in general in the playoffs. We all know it is so difficult. So the Nuggets, I do hope there's more fight in them. I do hope they're able to, like, be blessed with a Warriors off-night shooting. But, man, Jordan Poole, oh, man, he's looking insane. So, already, you have a lot to deal with. And these Warriors are looking insane. I think they can make it to the finals. As you saw in my last video, hey, they have a chance to make it. Celtics versus Nets. What a game. What a game that was. Wow. So, you had the whole time Kyrie hating on Boston fans hating on Kyrie. Now, granted, Boston fans do deserve that because, you know, they gave Kyrie hell for so long, and they still do to this day, and Kyrie still gives them hell to this day. It's like a mutual hate relationship. They all hate each other. And, I mean, I understand Kyrie's point of view. I understand the fans' point of view. But, I mean, from the fans to the players, it is never that serious. It's just a game. Like, bro, take it easy. This guy, he's getting paid millions to do this. But in the end, okay, let's actually talk about the game. Kyrie, they look great. They really did. Kyrie dropped like 30-something points, almost 40. He looked phenomenal out there. I watched the last 5 minutes of this game, but no, coming into the game, what I really watched was those last 5 minutes and just seeing the energy difference, the play difference in the Celtics versus the Nets. You saw the Nets, they were very ISO heavy when it came down to getting a bucket. So whenever the Nets really needed a bucket, just give it to Kyrie. Kyrie does whatever, shoots it up, brick, or he makes it. And then the next possession, the Nets come down. This time they give it to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, dribble, shoot it, or dribble. Oh, I got a double team, pass it to Kyrie. Kyrie, dribble. Kyrie shoots it, makes it. Oh my God, Kyrie for three. And it's just like such an ISO heavy offense is not what you want to see. Now look, granted, the Celtics, they won out of pure luck. Look, if we're being honest, that was a pure luck shot. If someone calls a timeout, they likely don't get that shot. Jason Tatum cut at the perfect time. Kevin Durant, he did a terrible job keeping up with Jason Tatum. Like, bro, come on. I mean, I guess I get it. You thought he was going to shoot a three, but Jason Tatum's cutting to the rim. At least follow him, man. So Kevin Durant, I believe that was on him. Yeah, you did have Kyrie in the paint, but what is Kyrie going to do against Jason Tatum? Kyrie's 6 foot. Jason Tatum's like 6'8". What is Kyrie going to do? So as you saw, Jason Tatum hit an insane buzzer beater. Man, that was fun to see. In this series, I don't really have a favorite. I don't really care who wins. I like both teams equally. I will say, though, I do want the Nets to win just because I like watching Kevin Durant more than the Celtics, to be honest with you. But that doesn't mean that I don't think the Celtics have a chance. The Celtics have a chance to win this series. But what makes it so difficult playing against Kyrie and Kevin Durant is you have to play to next level. You basically have to be a perfect game. You have to play a perfect game in order to beat these guys, or your shots have to be falling. Because when it comes to Kyrie and KD, you're not going to beat them by playing phenomenal defense on them. There's only so much Marcus Smart could do. Marcus Smart, while not every bucket was scored on him, Kyrie still had 30-something points. Marcus Smart can't stop everything, and that's just how great of an offense the NBA has, especially in KD and Kyrie. You just have to pray that they miss, which is one of the most frustrating things to watch if you're a fan of the Celtics is you know that there's no way to stop these guys. The only way to stop these guys is you pray that they miss, and they were missing some shots, which in the end, that Kevin Durant missed three-pointer was phenomenal for the Celtics. I mean, you get the rebound. You got the Nets defense scrambling. The Nets already suck on defense, but you have them scrambling, and then that just led to the game winner, which was a phenomenal way to end the game. I loved it. And lastly, I need to talk about these Bulls versus Bucks. I love to see this. I love seeing the Bulls lose just because I like watching, them not be successful after all the crap they talked to Magic fans saying that, oh, the Magic got finessed. No, we didn't. You guys have fun with Vooch and his, 9 for 30 shooting? Yeah, no thank you. No thank you. I would much rather rebuild and find another superstar. But no, in all seriousness, what really happened to the Bulls was it was just a terrible shooting night. Lack of adjustments. But in the end, they were still in the game. But the Bucks also had a terrible shooting night. The effort was there for both teams. I will say that. Both teams were playing hard. But if you're the Bulls, you have to avoid going down by more than 12 points to the Bucks, because once you go down by 12 against the Bucks, it is so difficult to come back, simply because once the Bucks have a huge lead, they just start chucking up threes, and before you know it, you look up and now you're down by 30 to the Milwaukee Bucks, because every three that they're chucking with so much confidence is hitting the bottom of the net, and it is extremely frustrating to watch as a fan of the other team going against the Bucks. It's super annoying, especially when you have Giannis, where if he's single coverage, he's just going to drive in and dunk over everybody. So it's super frustrating watching your team play against the Bucks. But no, the Bulls, they did a phenomenal job. They did a great job staying and coming back into the game. Once they went down by 12, I thought it was wraps. I was like, okay, Bulls, they're done. DeMar DeRozan's having a terrible game. Zach LaVine's trying to do too much again. This is not looking good. I'm going to have to pass. Alex Caruso did play terrific. I do think that. Alex Caruso had a phenomenal game. I mean, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday both had a bad shooting night, which you could credit Alex Caruso simply because he was just there when they needed him to be. Now, Drew Holiday, he is going to have his bad nights, but Chris Middleton, being able to shut down Chris Middleton was huge for this team. And it's insane that the Bucks were still able to get a win with so much struggles. Giannis, he played great, but he didn't shoot as much as you'd want him to, and that's because of the Bulls' defense. The Bulls just played great defense. So, all in all, the first weekend of the NBA playoffs have been phenomenal. Now, we did have some blowouts, the Suns versus Pelicans, which we all knew that was going to happen. Who else got blown out? I know the 76ers blew out the Raptors. I feel bad for you Raptor fans. Psych, I don't. I only feel bad for Scotty Barnes just because I hate seeing injuries. But I don't care if you guys lose. I'm happy with you guys losing because you guys argue with everybody on Twitter and you are extremely toxic. Nah, I'm just joking with you guys. Well, maybe there's a little bit of truth. No, but in all seriousness, I do feel bad for the Raptors. I want this series to be competitive because I like seeing the Raptors win games. When they win games, they're actually a fun team to watch. So, all in all, I do believe that this series will pick up, and hopefully Scotty Barnes is okay. But with all that being said, guys, please, always remember, just enjoy basketball. Just enjoy the game for what it is. Don't be out here screaming at your TV, screaming, arguing with people for stupid conversations that no one cares about. Look, whatever arguments you have right now over the NBA playoffs are going to be completely dead in 2 months. Just enjoy basketball for what it is. You don't have to argue over everything. Everyone has different opinions. Just let it be. Just enjoy the game for what it is and have a good time watching the playoffs, bro. That's all it is. So, with all that being said, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the button to be notified for every single time I upload. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.